Hi everyone, welcome to Inspirational Women Living with Purpose. Today we have Lorrae here with us. Thank you so much for joining us today, Lorrae.
Thank you so much for having me, Ash. It's great to be here and to see what you guys are doing and be a part of empowering women and it's exciting.
Yeah, thanks for coming on. To begin, do you want to just start telling us about who you are and what you do?
Okay, where do I start? Who am I? Well, my name's Lorrae. I'm a mother of two. I'm a wife. I am recovering from alcohol addiction, sober 2.5 years. And most recently, and probably one of my proudest achievements is becoming a qualified chef. So I'm the owner and founder of Earth Driven Collective, and what we do is we try to connect the earth, food, and creative expression. So I'm really trying to teach people how to cook from scratch and try and find the love in cooking. I feel like it's been removed quite a lot with our fast-paced society and world that we live in. COVID's really given me an opportunity to help people kind of slow down and go back to our roots and learn those foundation recipes that our nanas and our great grandmas used to do, like making our own stocks and making pasta from scratch and basic bread doughs and all of that. So and just talking about the emotional connection that we have with food. Like food to me is so much more than just making a meal and putting it in your mouth to fuel your body. It's about a connection from so many levels. It can be from planting that seed and growing it yourself and spending those memories in the garden and grabbing that zucchini off the plant, bringing it into your kitchen and cutting it up with your daughter and making a stir fry and sitting down with each other and talking about our day. And so I really want to try and let people express themselves with cooking. And God, I make mistakes all the time, but I love those mistakes because that's where so many of my really good recipes and really creative recipes have actually come from. So so that's kind of me.
Yeah, thanks. I can kind of see like you're the bridge between like what you do with your food and the emotional side to it. Like you're that bridge to help connect the two pieces together for people. Like that's so exciting.
Yeah, I feel like certainly for me when I was in early recovery, I knew that I loved cooking and I've always been passionate about it, but my life has kind of gone in a different path. But when I decided to go into sobriety, I really needed to connect creatively to help me to stay on track and to, get through the hardest times, with not picking up a drink. So for me, that was cooking, and I did a lot of my healing and most of my healing through, being in the kitchen and really just sitting with my emotions and learning how to garden. I had no idea how to garden. Now I've got this flourishing, amazing garden that's growing out the front that is there for the community. I've planted it for the community. So we've got people that are living next door to us that are also growing things. We've spoken to the neighbours, and I'd love to just be sitting out there and talking to them about perennial herbs and what they can do with it. And just getting people excited about it instead of, as I said, just whacking something on a plate and going, okay, well, we've eaten, let's go to bed. Let's really feel the emotion that comes with eating and cooking and connecting and
That's so beautiful that you do that.
Oh, thank you.
You don't hear people doing that these days. Like I've never actually heard someone that's so passionate about food in such a spiritual, deep way. That pure connection to nature. It's really, really lovely to hear.
It's like technology has had its really positive influences on what we do with our lives and how we do our lives or go through our lives, but it's removed us from our our tribal intuition and that primal kind of energy that you know, that connects us and grounds us. You know, we don't walk around with our shoes off anymore. We, you know, we get out of bed, we don't want dirty feet, we put our slippers on, then we put some socks on, then we put shoes on, you know, like there's nothing better than getting into the earth and the beach. Like, we're so lucky where we live. Yeah, I just really feel strongly about trying to get people to look at it again and see what they feel and how they can connect to that part of them that they may not have explored, you know, for whatever reason.
Yeah.
I find as well, like, you know, when we're children, we always connect with nature so easily, and it's not a task, it just happens. Like, you know, you pick up mud and you play with the sand, and, you know, you pick flowers off the garden, and yeah, you have that connection with nature that adults lose along the way, unfortunately. So
that's so true, Ash. You're absolutely right. Like, kids aren't conditioned that way yet. Kids aren't conditioned with the way that technology and society is kind of saying that we should be and how we should learn. And you know, it's such a box in terms of some of the learning guidelines and you know, schools out there that they've really taken them away from that kinesthetic learning and getting their hands dirty and feeling their way through their emotions. So you're absolutely right. Like, I feel like, you know, if we could take that little kid in there and go and get dirty and jump in the mud and, you know, like, just have fun and, you know, have that in some way in our lives as we grow up, like, wouldn't everybody just be so much happier?
Yeah. We all just have our inner child just driving us.
Yeah, absolutely. We would not be even thinking about, you know, I wonder what someone's thinking about me, or, you know, I wonder if I'm getting judged. We'd just be like so connected with ourselves and the environment and nature that we'd just be 100% ourselves at that very moment. That, to me, sounds like just absolute bliss.
You do sort of, I feel like children, they just live in the moment so much that we need to learn from children and be like more like that and not have to worry about what we did yesterday, what we're doing tomorrow, everything like that. I'm lucky enough to work with children, and today we just had our hands in the worm farm, and we were just like pulling the worms out, and
So
I was
cool.
just like remembering back to when I was like 10. And then just pull the worms out of the grass, and then just like look at them, look at the way they moved, and then like talk about them, and then like, you know, just put them back. Obviously, like, don't harm them, but like, yeah, I just loved it. Just picking up the soil and just like pulling like the worms out, and it was just
it's life. That's right. You know, there's this underground life happening that feeds us, literally feeds us, that we don't even know about, you know, because we don't get taught it. We get taught things that maybe aren't really going to help us with, you know, the way that we want to go. We're kind of just stuck in this little box, which let's break that box.
Yes, I agree.
Exactly.
I know. We've got lots of flowers in our garden, actually, and my daughter likes to go out and pick them, and she'll pick the whole. Yeah, it's beautiful, and you know, it's really nice to have that connection with her and Mother Earth. Like, you get to like, it's so. Have you ever just picked up a flower and looked at it up close?
Oh my God, like every day.
Like the little tiny details in a flower, it's just like, it amazes me.
About when I like probably a couple of years ago, when I was really starting to, you know, have my eyes wide open and be really kind of connecting again, I found out that flowers were edible. And holy crap, my mind was absolutely blown. And so I haven't stopped from that. I've got like probably about 12 or 13 different edible flowers in my garden.
Oh.
And I actually use them not just for aesthetics because they absolutely look beautiful, but I've really tried to understand them. Like, I'm extracting their medicinal properties now and making them into salves and oils and balms, and I'm using them as natural dyes. And so that's the stuff that's that's real. There's no chemicals in it. It's just what Mother Nature is offering us, and we get that chance to really be creative, whether it's how we take it,
Yeah.
that, you know, can really help us connect to, yeah, that primal energy again. So edible flowers, look that up.
Yeah, I
We
will.
found like rose water and stuff like that as well, like
Yeah.
with rose petals and stuff. And I know you can do like beetroot stains and stuff. Like you just boil the
Yeah.
beetroot and then you use the water to like do your tie dyes and like things like that. And
Totally.
it's so cool.
It is, isn't it? And you know, like, it's, kids love tie dyeing. Imagine telling them that you could tie dye something from flowers in the garden, you know, like they'd be blown away by it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's a
It's
fun
nice to just connect with nature. I'm finding myself like loving nature, like being just in that moment, like going to the beach and just being right there and not having to worry about anything else. And just,
Really. Whereabouts do you live, Ash?
I'm at Butter Bay, so
Oh,
I'm
cool.
close to. We went to Foresters yesterday.
Yeah. Oh, we're so lucky living up here, I swear. Like, just, you know, especially through COVID, like, we could actually get out in nature and really enjoy what we have around us, and really grateful for that.
We live on the back of like a bush. There's like a bush track, and we just like, you know, go for walks through there, and it's really nice to just like have a little wander around, and we're close to like Cracknet Point and stuff like that.
Oh, cool. Oh,
Yeah,
that's nice.
really nice. A few bush trails back there.
Yeah. Oh, that's so good. That's so good. Yeah.
Lorrae, did you want to share with us a bit of your journey towards finding Earth Driven Collective?
Yeah. So I think it was probably 5 years ago. I really started questioning what I was doing with my life. Like, my kids are 10 and 8 now, and I just felt like I wasn't being the best version of myself and being a really good role model for them, and that was really affecting me. Like, every day I'd wake up and I would be really questioning my decisions and some of the things I was doing. So I was working in a really high-end corporate job, and I had been there for about 15 years, and I just had basically just had a breakdown. I'd had enough. I just was sick of being fake. I was sick of trying to climb the ladder and have these false meetings that were just greedy, and just that, you know, that was where I was with my life. But I knew that I had to do something about it. So after I had my you know, bit of a breakdown, my husband and I had just moved up here as well, and he just kind of said to me, don't do it. Like, what do you want to do? And I'm like, I just want to cook. Like, I just want to cook. And I'm so lucky to have him, because he's just so supportive of me and everything that I've done. And that was really the point where I was like, okay, cool, no problem, I'm going to do it. And that was at the same time that I decided that my alcohol had become a problem with the decisions that I was making. And so I stopped drinking. I had probably 3 or 4 months that were very, very difficult, going through withdrawing and you know, going to AA, and, you know, just trying to figure out what the hell was going on. My brain had been so screwed for such a long time with all the alcohol I was drinking that it just didn't know what to do. So I knew that I had to get more help than just stopping the alcohol. I knew that it was deeper than that. And so I went and got a psychologist. I had my sister, I had my mum, and 100% had, you know, my husband. And I basically just hid for about 4 months until I was strong enough to walk out of the house. And I got put on antidepressants, which have absolutely changed my life. I had been trying not to be on medication because I had this thing in my mind that if I was on medication and I would be weak, and, you know, I don't want to be weak, but I'm sick, you know, like I have this chemical imbalance, you know, like I had to come to terms with that. And I'm glad that I did, because now I wake up and I have you know, I have no cloud. You know, there. I don't want to be on medication long term. I want to try and work alongside some natural therapies and keep going to my psychologist to try and see if there's any natural ways for me to be able to manage my depression. But I'm also not going to be naive and say that I'm going to stop them and then I'm going to be okay. Maybe it's something that I do have to do to live the life I want to live. By being active might mean that, yes, I do need to be on antidepressant medication for quite some time. And I've accepted that. And since I've accepted that, I've really just come into my own, and I've just been speaking my truth, and everything that comes out of my mouth is the truth, because then I have no way of hiding from it, and I have no fear of it. My decisions are no longer fear-based. They're just purely from my heart, and I know I'm doing the right thing then, and I know that I'm being the best version of me, so I don't have any reason to doubt the role model that I'm being for my kids. So when I kind of started that journey, a girlfriend that I worked with at my high-end job, she asked me to make some platters for her and her clients, who were the clients that I used to look after. And I just started making these platters, and then I was like, oh, this is really cool. I love doing this. And then it kind of just branched from there. And then the platters, I was like, nah, I need to do something bigger than this. It's got to be bigger than that. So then I ventured into the catering side as well, went and did my apprenticeship, got my apprenticeship, finished that. So I wanted to have that qualification, because I never finished anything in my life. I always just stopped halfway because it got too hard. So I really wanted to have that fulfillment for myself. And now currently where Earth Driven Collective is it's just growing and going in ways that I don't even know where it's going, but I just know that it's absolutely where I'm meant to be. I'm not putting up any walls. I'm just letting it flow. I hosted a fundraiser last year because I really wanted to help women that were in recovery from addiction. And anyway, the people that I ended up raising the money for, they called me a couple of months ago, and I now work with women in the rehabilitation program, cooking with them 1 day a week, teaching them how to cook and teaching them how to garden. And that's what I want to do. I really want to help people with that. And so I'm just trying to find out how else I can help, with that creative side and that connecting side of cooking. Yeah.
Wow.
Amazing. I love that you're going like to help with the rehabilitation, because like I've had addiction myself, but I've also lived with people that have had addiction too, and it's the recovery, it's the whole process, but it's the whole afterwards as well. Like, you know, afterwards you have to sort of, I guess, adapt to sort of how things are now, and then, you know, like just having someone to teach them to cook and to garden and have those things that they look forward to. And they would be so happy to have you like each week and just come along and like enjoy the time with you.
Oh, and they don't know my story. Like, I don't feel like I need to tell them my story. But I just know that I get them. So like I can kind of understand exactly where they're going, and their kids are allowed to come and stay with them as well. So it's only for women, and it's women with children or women that are pregnant, and they stay there for about 3 months. And then they've got this amazing aftercare program when they go out, but it's really trying to teach them the skills that they need to go back and feel comfortable, like you said, back out there without, you know, wanting to turn to those substances that have helped them for so many years. Well, not helped them, but, self-medication. And I heard something, and this has really stuck with me. It's like, you're the age in your mind that you were when you started drinking. So I started drinking when I was 13, and I didn't stop, even when I was pregnant, I was still drinking. And so when I finished and I stopped, my brain was essentially a 13-year-old. So I was really, really traumatized, and there was a lot of trauma, which is a lot of addictions are based around the trauma. But it's like, you got to learn all these skills again. that you don't even realize that you don't know. You've just pushed them aside for so long that you think, oh, I don't need to know that, but you can't absorb it either. Like you can't remember things. You can't retain things. So you got to really, take it back to that foundation, like what we're doing with, with the Earth Driven Collective, trying to get that message out there.
Just taking it back to basics, and then they can use that skill as a hobby, so they can have that for themselves.
And also to find out who they are, and to find out an emotion that they've felt that's pure, that's like, oh, that made me feel really happy. That wasn't from the alcohol, that wasn't from the drugs, that was from me finding something that my soul is telling me that I enjoy. And it's really trying to help them to embrace those feelings, because they're so scary to start with, because you've never really allowed yourself to feel them. So
you just numb it sometimes. And that's right, to not be able to feel it and just put your walls up, but then to have that feeling come back is such a rewarding thing.
And very, very overwhelming. It's baby steps, but to empower the women to be able to feel them is I think really important, because they don't know how to feel proud of themselves or happy. In a way, it's kind of like very foreign for them, and like they're
I agree. I feel like for me, I can relate in a creative process of mine is like singing, and like I'm learning guitar at the moment.
Are you?
So hard. It's so hard, but
really,
it's so hard. But I'm doing it, and I notice like when I'm in that creative process of like being present and just allowing my soul to fully be in this, and I know what you mean, that connection and that pureness, and that is basically just love. Like you're in that love, and if those women haven't really been able to allow themselves to experience something like that, it is scary to begin with. I definitely can understand that, but showing them that is possible, not just from like substances and stuff like that. Beautiful. Absolutely. That you're giving that to the women, like so nice.
I just feel like that there needs to be another voice out there for people that are struggling with some kind of abuse. It doesn't need to be addiction. It doesn't need to be alcoholism. It doesn't have to have a label. It can be, hey, I'm fucking struggling here. I need some help, but I'm not an alcoholic because I don't want to go to AA. It's like, what other avenues are there that people that think that being an alcoholic is a bum on the streets with a brown paper bag, or somebody that's a criminal or in jail. That's the perception that we have, and so people don't see that they have an issue or have a problem. So it's kind of like talking about it in a different light and saying, look, if you're choosing to have substance over some decisions that you're making in your life, maybe you need to have a think about it. You don't have to label it, but what can you do that may be a little bit healthier for you to have that connection with people, and so I don't know, I have a million things going on in my brain.
Just to ask for help, like that's the biggest thing, just to be like, put your hand up and be like, hey, like I'm not okay, like I need someone to
it shows me. Strength. It shows so much strength within you to be able to ask for help. That's what I feel.
Well, that's the first step too, isn't it? Like, AA has been around for so long and has helped so many people, but I've just found that it might not be for everybody, like I find that for me to be on my recovery, it's not by going back to a meeting every day and talking about, my addiction. It's about moving past that. It's about setting goals and feelings and things in place to help me to stay past that addiction mentality, if that makes sense. Like, I'm not taking any credit away or anything away from Alcoholics Anonymous, because they're an amazing organization. I just find that there could be a really good way for people to be sober and not have an addiction, but have goals towards, I can't get the words out. I don't know if you know what I mean. Like, instead of having to go to a meeting every single day to feel like that's the only way that you can stay sober, why don't you feel like you have to get in the kitchen every day to get into your creative space, go out into the garden and to get your hands dirty, go for a walk, you know, try and create really beautiful connecting habits for you to feel like you don't need to have any reason to go back to your past and sit within that addictive space.
Yeah, exactly. And you're dropping a seed for them, basically. And then they can go off and find what works for them in that way to bring that connection to them too.
Yeah, that's a really good point. That's a really good point.
I feel like it comes down to as well, like your self-care like routine in a way. Like having that self-care routine and being like, I'm going to do this and this for myself. And it's going to make me feel good. It's going to make me feel amazing. And it doesn't involve anyone else. Like, it could be as simple as just going for a walk or walking your dog or, you know, making a meal, sitting down and drinking hot coffee. Because I know as a mother, sometimes that's such a big, like, buzz to sit down and have a hot coffee.
You know, without any interruption.
Yeah, exactly. Like a little bit of meditation or something like that. And just be within yourself and just make yourself feel happy and like.
Do you know what, Ash? When you say that about the meditation, you know, going and doing meditation, I really struggled with that. My brain is very, very active, and I really wanted to try and find that calm space. And I was trying so hard to meditate that I was meditating, and I was like, okay, I'm meditating. My brain's not working. Okay, but I'm really quiet. If I be quiet and close my eyes, you know. So I was kind of like going, what? I just want to be in my calm space. And then I worked out, my meditation is movement. My meditation is moving meditation. My meditation is in the kitchen when all of a sudden I've been in there for 5 hours and I am just so connected and so like, how did I get here? Like, I just so mindful. And so those are the things that are my meditation. I don't need to sit there and quiet my mind, because quieting my mind are doing those things that are connected to my soul, being in the garden, being in the kitchen, you know. So
meditation can be used in everyday practices. Like I do African bongo drums, and that's a meditation for me, because it's like sound therapy in a way. But it puts me in such a meditative state because I get that buzz because of the sound of it, and it's like the beat and everything like that. Like, I'm the same, like, I'm very hyperactive with my mind. So even when I'm in a meditation, if it's a half an hour meditation, it'll take me 20 minutes to actually get into that point where I won't even sort of go off, if you know what I mean. I'll get probably only 5 or 3 minutes out of it now, and I've been trying to do it for years and years. But but I'm the same. Like, I need to, like, my meditation is moving and being like, you know, active and sort of doing things and you know, having that thing. So I can definitely relate to that.
Yeah, that's cool, man.
I think it's about just being really conscious in what you're doing as well. I think that's what true, like, meditation is.
That's true.
I know singing mantra for me is like, that is definitely my meditation. That is like,
gets you in the zone.
Yeah, definitely. I think I wanted to add something in there. Oh, when I first started meditating, I was similar. I was like, I need to quiet my mind, and my mind needs to be completely still and no thoughts ever. But I think, like, I've come to the realization that your mind doesn't stop. Like, your mind will always have thoughts. I think it's just about becoming aware of your thoughts as well. Like, what thoughts are coming through, like, are they good? Are they bad? It's just, I think it's about being the observer. And I think some people, like, they try meditation and they stop trying it because they think that they can't stop their mind, but it's not really about that, is it?
Okay, well that's a really good point, because that's a stereotypical kind of way that I looked at it too. I kind of looked at it like, oh well, my mind needs to be still. Oh well, my mind's not still. I can't do it. I'm not doing it. But if it was explained in a different way, and there was a more of an understanding about, what meditation is, like you said, it's being mindful, and it's being kind of active in what you're doing, like, mentally. That's a different way to approach it. It kind of changes the meaning of meditation for a lot of people. Maybe I need to try it again.
Focusing on breathing and like just
it's your breath.
Your breath. And even if you're breathing, you're still thinking about things. Like you're always going to be thinking about things.
Yeah, exactly.
But yeah, just trying to, I guess, be right in the moment. And that's I think what meditation's helped me a lot with. I really forced myself to do it just because I knew that I felt so much better afterwards. Yeah. But yeah, just the same thing. I'm still really fast, but even though it takes me 20 minutes to sort of quieten my mind to some degree, it still sort of does help me in that way. And even just the breathing, I just get that lightheadedness just from those deep belly breaths. It's just amazing.
They're so helpful.
Yeah.
All right, girls, I need to get back onto that then, don't I?
There's a really great app. It's called Insight Timer. It's completely free. You can buy one on. You can buy like certain ones, or you can buy courses and stuff. But there's heaps that are free, and there's all different ones. Like there's guided ones that talk you through, or there's just music ones. But I've been pretty onto it because of the fact that it's 5 minutes. It's one I do in the morning. I'm trying to do it every morning. It's a morning meditation for just being grateful and being in the moment, and just being like aware of like it goes through this whole process, but it takes 5 minutes, and it goes like basically from head to toe, and makes me feel so happy because it tells you to appreciate all of your organs and your insides and what they do for you every day, and it's like, holy moly, I would never think to do that. But like, you know what I mean? It's just
so true.
That like, be thankful for like your body and your legs and your feet and everything they do for you. And I'm like every morning that I do it, I just feel so good because it makes you feel like you appreciate yourself a little bit. Like, and it's a 5 minute one. I can do it like while I'm, sitting in the car for 5 minutes before I go to work or something.
All right, I'll jump on and get it. That sounds really good.
I'll send you the picture of the app. It's just on the app store. Yeah.
Thank you. That's so good.
Yeah.
But it does put you in it does, like you said, it makes the word meditation is completely different when you put it in that different perspective.
Yeah. I think it's nice to start your day off with something like that as well. Just bringing some awareness in the morning can change your whole day, basically.
Set that intention.
Yeah.
It's like you wake up with your alarm, and it's like I've had incidents when I've put the wrong sound of my alarm, and it's just woken me up in such a fright because it's just really loud. And I'm like,
I'm sorry.
I wake up in such a panic, and like
I've
noticed like all day, if that happens to me all day, I feel like on edge. But if I have to take myself
back, I get woken up by my daughter. I'm like going, Mum, I want a yogurt. I want a yogurt, Mum. Like that's my alarm clock every day.
Yeah, I know what you mean. I haven't been there for a while. I remember those days well.
I'm not a morning person though. I'm just more of
No, I don't. I used to just sleep all the time. Now I'm like, let's go, let's get out there, let's enjoy the day.
Yeah.
That's even good. A brisk walk in the morning is good.
Get your blood pumping.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, that's so cool.
I have a question, actually, Lorrae. If you had a message for all women in the world, what would it be? Just to spring it on you.
No, that's all right. It's like, just don't be scared to to be who you are, because even if you're fake, people are not going to like you. So you may as well be real, and people are not going to like you. But, you know, like if you're happy, then you're living. And if you're doing what you love and not worrying about what anyone else thinks, you're just so free to live your life without any barriers in the way, because you don't care about those things, because they don't matter and they shouldn't matter. Yeah.
That's a beautiful message.
Yeah, I love that.
So much.
It's all about speaking your truth, hey?
Oh, 100%. 100%. Yeah.
That's something I'm navigating at the moment, like setting boundaries and speaking my truth, because I feel like, you know, you're talking about conditioning and stuff. Like when we're conditioned, our parents' conditioning, like condition from anyone really, it can limit us, or we can create these beliefs in our head that we can't say that, or we can't do that, or you know what I mean? And it's just like, but we can free ourselves and be in truth.
Absolutely. And I feel like that we don't teach that. We don't teach it enough, you know, like especially for the new generations that are coming through. Like we need to really let them know that they deserve to be heard, and they deserve to be their own selves.
Yeah.
And I'm really strong with that, you know, with my kids, because I, you know, there's this saying that says, speak your truth even if your voice shakes.
Yeah.
And I think that's so
Powerful.
empowering, you know, like it's like, yeah, you know what? Absolutely. Like, yes, I'm going to be shit scared if I say this, but I need to say it because it needs to be heard.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And there's boundaries as well. Like I've been a people pleaser my whole life, and I've just started now, probably the last 6 months, just setting boundaries, and my boundaries are getting like better and better, and it's so nice because I feel like I'm not going to be walked all over, you know, but do it in such a loving, kind way. But I'm going to be myself along the road. But people need to know that, like, you know, where they stand with you, and you know, and just be honest and upfront, and you know, that's the way that I think is a great way to be, because
well, it's honoring yourself, isn't it? It's, you know, it's saying, no, I deserve more. No, I want this. And as you said, it's not an arrogant way. It's not a rude way. It's just how you feel about yourself. Yeah. Oh, look, I don't want to do that, because if I go to that party, I feel really uncomfortable because I don't like big crowds, and I'm just going to be talking to people that I actually don't want to talk to. So to be honest, I'm not going to go because it doesn't make me feel good. You know, like those sorts of things, like, you know, when we're growing up, you just go with the herd, you go with the sheep, you just do whatever you know, whatever's going. Even in your mind, oh, it doesn't feel right. Oh, well, I don't want to say it's wrong, because then people are going to tease me, and then I'm going to feel like this, and just go around and round.
Having that self-respect as well, and just knowing and listening to your heart, and just sort of opening up and asking yourself. I guess we forget to ask ourselves sometimes. We ask everyone else's opinion.
Totally, that's so true.
We need to like listen to our heart and feel what feels right, you know, and have that tingly feeling that, you know, that is a yes, you know, not you know, all of these other people's opinions, that at the end of the day it's not their life to live, you know, it's your life.
And you know what, saying yes should be easy, you know, like in a way that if it makes you feel uncomfortable and you still say yes, then that's not easy. Whereas if someone says to you, hey, do you want to go and do a sound healing at Candace's place, you'd automatically say yes, because it would be resonating with you. You wouldn't be trying to put up a wall or trying to block it out, or associate a negative emotion with it. You'd just be like, yeah, man, that sounds so amazing.
Yeah, it comes to my house.
And like attracting the tribe that you want to, and attracting those people that you want to be surrounded by, you know. I feel that doing this Inspirational Women Living with Purpose series has really opened my eyes up to sort of the people that I want to be around, like the people that are loving and accepting. And, you know, since I've, you know, done this, I've like, you know, you attract what you put out there, you know.
Yeah,
and,
absolutely.
You know, if you know, say no to those people that, you know, they don't resonate with you, they're not on the same wavelength. Like you said, you might feel uncomfortable when you're around them. It shouldn't feel like that. It should be easy.
Yeah.
It should be like, oh, sorry, like I didn't do this, or I forgot to reply. You shouldn't have to fully apologize your whole life, you know.
Yeah.
People should understand, you know, life happens. And if they don't, then obviously, like, it's not, you know, it's not their place. And obviously you just can't resonate with them. And I feel like sometimes you just have to, you know, you grow and develop and, you know, you become the person that you want to be. But sometimes, you know, you meet people and they don't always, you know, you're not always, you know, friends with them forever. It's just sometimes
things end in life.
Yeah.
That's the life cycle. You're born, you live, you die.
Yeah.
It's like anything, really. Something can be created, it has its time, and then it's ending.
Yeah.
We shouldn't attach things to it all the time. Some things just end, and that's just how it is.
That's exactly right. That's
exactly
right. But then those things that end, like look at the doors that open and look at all of those opportunities that come your way from that. Like it's exciting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So good.
Yeah. Well, thank you so much for coming on and talking to us, Lorrae.
Thank you. That was a lovely chat.
Thank you. Yeah, thanks so much. We really love your story, and I think that you're going to be just growing and just becoming bigger and better. I can just feel it. Like you're doing an amazing job.
Thank you so much. That's really nice. And as I said again, thanks for creating this platform and bringing some truth to you know, women that have their struggles but come out on the other end and want to help people. And I'm really grateful to be a part of it.
I feel like as well, a lot of the time when you, like a lot of people that do have those struggles and they come out on the other side, is always, you know, that's what awakens them, and that's what sort of helps them to grow and become who they are and speak their truth. So
absolutely. And not be scared of it, for sure. Yeah.
So we want to help to support people too.
Yeah, thank you guys.
Well, thank you for joining us.
Oh, thank you, Candice, and thank you, Ash. It's been so nice to have a real connected conversation about life. And keep up the great work. You ladies are amazing.
Thank you. It was lovely to speak to you.
Okay.
Bye.
Bye. See you.